Hello, this is Herban Renewal. We're on every Wednesday, channel 21 at 10 p.m. I'm your host. My name is Medina J. Nance. I'm a certified herbalist as well as a natural health teacher and health consultant. In today's segment, we're going to talk about coming off of pharmaceutical meds. Now, of course, I know everybody can, and I'm not the type of herbalist that is against medication or doctors. We need our doctors and nurses. They save lives. We need medication. It saves lives. I wouldn't want to be in a world without it. But there is something called integrative therapy. And I have two friends, and one of them, we go all the way back to high school. That was the super 70s. And she's a pharmacist, and we often will talk about things. And we had quite a conversation after Hurricane Katrina. And it caused me to put together this flyer because that was quite a conversation. It said, upon reviewing Spike Lee's When the Levees Broke for Hurricane Katrina, I was astonished to realize that the morgues overflowed with corpses due largely to the fact that they were cut off from their medication for 2 weeks or more. It made me think, what would we do if our 24-hour Walgreens, CVS, etc. were closed down one day, 1 week, 1 month? We suffer the same fate. Fatalities. It's truly time for a change. Now, with that said, let me say, medication saves lives, and not everybody will be able to come off their medication. Case in point, someone who has had a transplant. If you've had a kidney or liver transplant, once they put another person's organ in your body, for the rest of your life, you will have to take immunosuppressive drugs. You have to suppress the immune system because the body's very intelligent. The cells know that there is a foreigner or a foreign organ in the body. So again, that's a procedure that saves lives. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the vast majority of cases that we can, number one, prevent. So think about it now. If you have diabetes, high blood pressure, high cholesterol, heart disease, wouldn't you want to prevent your children and your grandchildren? Let's think about that. And number two, if you could come off medication, wouldn't you want to? So, after Hurricane Katrina, the interesting conversation I had with friends of mine who are pharmacists is that a lot of people died because we're not prepared. So many people are used to taking their medication every day, and here in America, fortunately, we don't have that problem, even though we have so many people who are uninsured, and I'm sure that does cause a lot of health problems. Overall, America is one of the best places to be as far as, opportunity. But we have a growing dependency on drugs that do not really heal. By heal, I mean get to the root of the problem and get you back to the way you were before you had to go on the drug. Generally, with most things, they'll tell you there's no cure for it. Blood pressure, no cure. Diabetes, no cure. High cholesterol, no cure. Most of the things. I was diagnosed with lupus and chronic fatigue, no cure, But there are drugs to help you manage your problems. So that's why I said, and my friends, these few who are pharmacists, they understand I'm not against medication. I believe in integrated therapy. In a lot of cases, people can safely come off of their medication. How do I know this? Because I've helped people do it for years. I like to prevent it, but if people are coming and they're already on medication, they generally tell me. I don't tell them. They sit down and, cross me and say, look, I want to come off this medication. Can I? In most cases, yes, you can. There are exceptions where some people can't, but what they can do is they can change their diet, lifestyle, supplement in some ways to help that medication work better. A lot of people may not know this, but vitamin E with selenium, that's usually, you can get that in a combination, will help your body assimilate insulin and function better. So if you are on insulin, vitamin E with selenium as opposed to aspirin will do a lot of the things that an aspirin will do. I say still get the aspirin, carry it with you in emergency, chew up the aspirin, but instead of taking that aspirin every day, did you know that vitamin E will do what aspirin won't do? It'll keep the artery walls soft and supple. So see, that opens up a whole canvas of conversation about how we can help the medications work more effectively with supplementation, how we can get rid of that big, huge side effect that you never hear about from your doctor or your pharmacist, and that's how these drugs deplete the body of your major minerals and vitamins. I bet you didn't know that. A lot of people don't know that. They're shocked when they find that out. Give you an example. Prednisone. Prednisone is a major steroidal drug they give to people for a whole lot of things. They wanted to give it to me when I was diagnosed with lupus. I, of course, never took prednisone, but I would never tell a person not to take prednisone. Sometimes the body goes into overtime and it really, really needs some help. So prednisone, I have seen it save lives, but here's the big side effect. Prednisone will leach so much calcium, so many of the B vitamins, so many antioxidants and zinc out of your body that before you know it, the doctor is, here, you need Oscal. My thing is, offer me the Oscal straight away for prevention. Or, as I see some doctors are doing now, they're doing their own research, they're actually telling the people when they put them on prednisone, look, take this calcium supplement. Any good calcium supplement is going to have magnesium and vitamin D because they all work together synergistically. But I am seeing that, and I'm pleased. That's how we can work together, people. That's integrative therapy. Do not let a drug simply sap and deplete you. You got to do your research. And there are a lot of good books out here. One in particular by a great pharmacist. His name is Clell Fowles, spelled C-L-E-L-L, Fowles, F-O-W-L-E-S. I hope I spelled that right. And he's a pharmacist, and he has a great book out called Drugs and Nutrient Depletion. That's a book everybody should have because we simply don't have a clue that all medications, bar none, aspirin, birth control, over-the-counter, pharmaceutical, each and every last one is depleting in nature. Now, I'm only saying that because we know people are going to take aspirin and birth control and over-the-counter and pharmaceutical meds. So if you are going to take it, find out what it's depleting, and then that way you can compensate for it before it turns into another major issue, because 9 times out of 10 your doctor is going to tell you about it. Why? Because that's not what they learn about in medical school. They learn the anatomy, they're lifesavers, they learn about drugs and surgery. They do not sit there in school and learn about vitamins and minerals and nutrition. They simply don't know. So they can't give you what they don't have. That's on you. It says here that, and you've heard in the news, about 46 million people. I think the estimate is much higher than that, but they're saying 46 million people are without health coverage. Here's what's startling. In America, more than 3 billion prescriptions are filled yearly. Diabetes alone topped 91.8 billion in sales in 2002, up from 44 billion